I'm Joy French. I'm 34, living here in Burleigh Heads, Australia. Contemporary portrait artist and photographer, slash designer, slash writer. Trick of all trades. Art for me just sort of happened. I was always into the arts, so I was always drawing and painting as a kid, and I went into sculpture, so I started working in an art foundry when I was in school, and left school, just stayed in the art foundry industry and was sculpting and bronze sculptures, and then I kind of left that because it was hard work, manually hard work, and I actually got quite sick myself. I had a eating disorder, so that sort of plummeted into quite a big spiral, and I got really, really ill and nearly lost my life. And then my mother got diagnosed with breast cancer, and I get a little bit emotional talking about this stuff. She got diagnosed with breast cancer, and that was my wake-up call, basically. That was my wake-up call to, there was a reason to live. So I started eating again, and she was going through her treatment, and we were sharing that journey, and I just started to delve into my artwork a little bit more in my recovery process of that. And went through the journey of her with cancer, and then she passed away, and that's when I sort of had this realization that life was a little bit too short. So again, just quickened my track into getting better and well, and I met someone, and then they died in a car accident, and so after that, that was my turning point. That was hardcore art every day, because that was my visual journal, I guess you'd say. It was my meditation and my grounding force of becoming well and connecting back into myself, but also art for me is incredibly cathartic and healing, so it was just a space and a place for me to just heal. And then people started to like it, and people were asking me if they could, pay me to have my art in their home, which I couldn't believe at the time, but just ran with it. And then all of a sudden I had it in galleries and had it in still cafes, and I'm just doing it for the love, and the money's a bonus. Early riser, I get up around 3 in the morning, and I just go crazy for a while down there in the studio and paint, and right up until around 9, and then I'll go for a run and come back and get back into it again, and then around midday I usually stop, and then just a little bit more of an evening. But that's pretty much day-to-day thing. People mainly, because I'm a portrait artist, so it's usually always a lot of people, and listening to people and going out and watching people or observing people, or just listening to everyone's stories. It doesn't matter who or where or what or how young or old or anything. It's just all so amazing. Like, everyone has just got such an amazing story to share, and that's what I always walk away with. I usually walk away, even whilst I'm talking to people, I often get a vision of a painting while they're talking. And it may not actually turn out looking like them, but there's a story happening in my mind while they're talking. Everyone is always giving something to me whenever. So it's people, mainly. Yeah. I would say the old Facebook. That's been a good one for me. It's just because I find Facebook an amazing vehicle for the majority of population. For a long time, we've just been given TV, which can be somewhat, in my opinion, dramatised, and everything's sensationalised, and it's this one viewpoint, and the news and the gossip channels and all these sorts of, the magazines, all that sort of stuff tend to give us the wrong stories and the wrong information. Since Facebook, we've been given this vehicle where people can actually step in and create this universal language and chat forums going, actually, you know what, we actually don't have to listen to that. We can go and do this, or we can go and do that. A concept like colours is an amazing idea, because again, it's allowing a new medium for people to come together as one and share, and let everyone know that Yes, we all have different ideas and concepts about the way we either live our lives or our passions or our dreams, but it's a vehicle to share what we're all about, and it's up to the individual of what they want to do with that information, but it's just bringing awareness to our culture and our society rather than that mainstream stuff of that bombardment of a lot of negative stuff too. And then that can become brainwashing, and it only takes a few negative things to inject fear into people. Switch over to something like colours that's really positive, and you're hearing beautiful stories about people who have changed their lives and doing what they love to do. People run off that energy and they get excited, and if you can give that back to others who are somewhat maybe perhaps less fortunate or need a little helping hand, or they may just need to hear a story. It's as simple as that. I know for me, when I heard other people's stories about they've been through some pretty tough stuff and they found their way out when I was in my downs, that stuff that kept me going. I knew there was hope. Stuff, colours, it's a channel for hope. It's a channel for sharing, and it's a channel for just connecting in, letting people feel understood. Yeah.